asking for permission to live your life, permission to speak your truth, permission to make your choices, permission to be yourself, permission to be free. And I'm here to tell you something that's going to change everything. You don't need it. You never needed it. The only prison you're in is the one you built, waiting for someone to unlock a door that was never locked. I'm showing you that you are already free. You just forgot. And forgetting keeps you caged. From the moment you were born, they taught you to ask permission, permission to speak, permission to move, permission to think differently, permission to question, permission to live. Raise your hand before you speak. Stay in your assigned seat. Follow the rules. Color inside the lines. Don't ask why, just obey. That was school. That was training. That was programming. And it worked. You're an adult now and you're still asking permission from your boss, from your family, from society, from systems that have no authority over your soul. But here's the truth they can't afford for you to know. No one can give you freedom because it was never theirs to grant. Freedom is your birthright, your natural state. You were born free. They just convinced you otherwise. You're already free. So let's show you how to live it. As a child, you ask permission before you speak, before you go outside, before you eat, before you exist in any way that's not pre-approved. They taught you that your desires don't matter until someone else validates them. At school, you're told to ask permission to use the bathroom, to get water, to have different opinion. Here's the approved answer. Memorize it. Don't create. Don't question. Just comply. They taught you that authority knows better than your own body, your own mind, your own knowing. The place of employment, you're told, ask permission for time off, for raises, for respect. Accept whatever wage we offer, whatever hours we demand, whatever conditions we create. You're lucky to have this job. They taught you that your life belongs to them. Your time is theirs. Your survival depends on their approval. Society told you, ask permission to look different, to think different, to be different. Conform, fit in. Don't make waves. What will people think? They taught you that your authentic self is acceptable only if others approve it first. Year after year, system after system, authority after authority, until asking permission became automatic, until waiting for approval became your default. You forgot that you were born knowing what you want, what you need, what's true to you and true for you. You forgot that you don't need anyone's permission to be yourself, to pursue your purpose, to live. That's forgetting. That's the trap. And you've been in it so long you think it's reality. But it's not. It's programming. And we're about to delete it. So let me tell you clearly, directly, undeniably, what you do not need anyone's permission for. You don't need permission to speak your truth. Your voice, your opinions, your experiences, your truth. You don't need permission to say what you see, to call out injustice, to disagree with authority, to speak truth even when it's uncomfortable. Will people be upset? Maybe. And that's their problem, not yours. Your truth doesn't require their approval. So say it. You don't need permission to leave that job that's killing your spirit. Just leave. That relationship that's draining your soul. Leave. That community that judges everything you do, that belief system that makes you small. You don't need to explain. You don't need to justify. You don't need anyone to agree with your decision. If it doesn't serve you, if it doesn't honor you, if it doesn't align with who you are becoming, then leave. You have permission. Actually, you don't even need that. You're free. So act like it. You don't need permission to dream. That thing you want to create, that business you want to start, that life you want to build, you don't need approval, your friends' support, society's validation. Yes, it's scary. Yes, people will doubt you. Yes, you might fail. Do it anyway. Your dreams are yours. No one else has to understand them. No one else has to approve them. They're yours. Stop waiting for permission to pursue them and just start. You don't need permission to be yourself fully, completely, unapologetically. Your style, your interests, your beliefs, your identity, your path, all of it, yours, not up for debate, not requiring approval. People will judge you. Let them. Their opinions are not your prison unless you make them one. So be yourself, the real you, the one you hide because you're afraid of rejection, the one you edit because you're afraid of judgment. That version of you doesn't need permission to exist. Just exist. You don't need permission to say no. No to demands on your time. No to disrespect. No to obligations that drain you. No to anything that doesn't align with your peace. You don't need to explain your no. You don't need to soften it. You don't need to apologize for it. No is a complete sentence. Your boundaries protect your energy, your time, your life. You're not negotiable. They're not requiring approval. Set them and enforce them without permission. You don't need permission to evolve. You believed something before. You don't anymore. You're allowed to change. You took a path. It's not right anymore. You're allowed to choose differently. You were one thing. You're becoming another. You're allowed to evolve. Growth isn't betrayal. Change isn't weakness. Evolution is not requiring anyone's approval. You're a living, breathing, evolving being. You don't need permission to grow. Just grow. You don't need permission to live, to choose, to be free. And anyone who tells you otherwise, they're trying to control you. Don't give them that power. People who ask permission are controllable. If you need their approval to act, they control when you act. If you act. If you need their validation to feel worthy, they control your self-worth. If you need their permission to speak, they control what truth gets told. Permission is the leash, and as long as you're waiting for it, they hold the other end. That's why bosses get angry when you quit without proper notice. You're not asking permission to leave. You're just leaving. That's power they can't control. That's why families guilt you for making choices they don't agree with. You're not asking their approval. You're just living. That's autonomy they can't manipulate. That's why society punishes people who don't conform, who don't ask, who don't wait. Because non-compliance is dangerous to every system that requires obedience. Here's what they don't want you to know. The moment you stop asking, the moment you just start living, their power over you ends. You become ungovernable. And ungovernable people can't be controlled, manipulated, or stopped. That's why they need you waiting. That's why they teach you to ask. That's why they punish people who don't. Because your freedom is their loss of control. So stop asking. Stop waiting. Stop giving them power they never actually had. You know what you don't need permission for. Now let's talk about how to actually live this way. Step 1. Start noticing how often you ask permission, how often you wait for approval before acting. Is it okay if I? Do you think I should? Or can I? Catch yourself. Notice the habit, because you can't change what you don't see. Every time you catch yourself asking unnecessary permission, pause and ask, do I actually need permission for this? Or am I just conditioned to ask? Most of the time, you'll realize you don't need it. You're just trained to wait. Step 2, start small. Don't try to revolutionize your whole life overnight. Start with small acts of sovereignty. Order what you want at the restaurant, not what you think others expect. Wear what you like, not what you think will be approved. Speak up in that meeting. Don't wait to be called on. Small acts of freedom build confidence. They prove to your nervous system, I can choose, I can act, I don't need permission. Practice on small things. Build the muscle, then go bigger. Step 3, it's disapproval. This is the hard part. People will be upset when you stop asking permission. Your boss will be upset you're setting boundaries. Your family will be upset you're making choices they don't like. Society will be upset you're not conforming. Let them be upset. Their discomfort with your freedom is not your problem to fix. Their need to control you is not your responsibility to satisfy. You will never be free if you need everyone else's approval. Someone will always disapprove. Always. So make peace with it now. Decide that your freedom matters more than their comfort. Then act from that place. Step 4, trust your inner authority. You have an inner knowing, an intuition, a voice that knows what's right for you. You've been trained to ignore it, to trust external authority over your internal knowing. But that voice, that's your guidance system, that's your truth. And it doesn't need validation from anyone. Start trusting it. When it says this isn't right, just listen. When it says go this way, go. When it says speak, speak. Your inner authority is the only authority you need. Everything else is external noise. Step 5, act as if you're already free, because you are. Living like you're waiting for release. You're not imprisoned. You're just trained to believe you are. Make decisions like a free person makes them. Speak like a free person speaks. Move like a free person moves. Freedom is not something you achieve. It's something you claim. It's something you embody. So embody it now, not when you have more money, not when you have more support, not when conditions are perfect. Now, you are already free. Live like it. To understand something, this isn't just philosophy. This is urgent. Every day you wait for permission to live, to speak, to create, to be yourself is a day you lose. You don't get the day back. You don't get that time back. You don't get that life back. How many years have you spent waiting? waiting for approval, waiting for the right time, waiting for someone to tell you it's okay to live your life. And what if you built, what have you built in that waiting? What have you created? What have you experienced? I'll tell you, less than you could have, less than you should have, because waiting is not neutral. Waiting is loss. You lose time, you lose opportunities, you lose the person you could have become if you weren't waiting to be given permission to become them. Your children are watching you wait, learning that they should wait too, inheriting your hesitation, your fear, your need for approval. Is that the legacy you want to leave? You want them to think you waited for permission that never came, so they should too? Or do you want to show them, I lived free, and so can you? Stop waiting. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. Now, because every moment you wait is a moment of your life you're giving away. And you don't get those back. We are descendants of people who refuse to wait for permission to be free. The Maroons didn't ask the British for permission to fight, they just fought, and they won. Our ancestors didn't ask permission to resist slavery, they resisted anyway, revolted anyway, survived anyway. Sam Sharp didn't wait for approval to lead a rebellion. Marcus Garvey didn't ask permission to speak truth. Bob Marley didn't need validation to revolutionize music and consciousness. They acted, they lived, they were free in their spirits, even when the system tried to cage their bodies. That spirit is in you. That refusal to wait, that knowing that you're sovereign, that's your inheritance. So why are you waiting now? Waiting for politicians to fix things, waiting for systems to change, waiting for permission to build, to create, to rise. We don't need their permission. We never did. It's time to stop asking, stop waiting, stop giving power to systems that don't serve us. Build your businesses without approval. Grow your food without permission. Grow your communities without validation. Live your truth without asking if it's okay. We are already free. We just have to remember and then act like it. One sovereign people, one free future. Stop waiting and start living. You were born free. You are still free. You just forgot. Today you remember, and remembering changes everything. You don't need permission. You don't need their permission to speak, to choose, to leave, to dream, to be yourself, to set boundaries, to evolve, to live. You never did. The only thing keeping you waiting is the belief that you need to wait. Delete that belief right now, this moment. You are already free. Now live like it. Stop asking, start acting. Stop waiting, start living. Your life is happening now. Don't spend it waiting for permission that will never come. Be free now. If this message liberated something in you, here's what you do. First, subscribe. You need reminders like this regularly. The world will try to put you back in the cage. These messages keep you free. Second, share this. Send it to someone who's waiting, who's asking permission, who needs to remember they're already free. And third, take one action today that you've been waiting for permission to take. Just one. Say the thing, make the choice, take the step without asking. Prove to yourself, I am free.